Hello everyone, and welcome to this exploration of the inspiring history of LGBTQ2+ rights in Canada. Get ready to embark on a journey of resilience, activism, and triumph. This video was developed and produced by ProPics Canada Media Limited and ProPics Canada Artificial Intelligence. As our systems are still learning, some clips may not exactly match the narration. We appreciate your understanding as we further develop our AI systems and technology. Throughout this video, we will delve into the struggles and victories that have shaped the rights and freedoms enjoyed by the LGBTQ2+ community in Canada today. From the shadows of oppression to the forefront of equality, the story of LGBTQ2+ Canadians is one of courage, determination, and unwavering advocacy. We will uncover the pivotal moments, the tireless efforts of activists, and the evolving social landscape that has led to Canada becoming a global leader in LGBTQ2+ rights. This is a story not only of the LGBTQ2+ community, but of Canada itself, a nation that has repeatedly demonstrated its commitment to inclusivity, justice, and human dignity for all its citizens. So let's begin our exploration of LGBTQ2+ history in Canada, a history marked by both challenges and triumphs. It is important to remember and learn from the past. By understanding the struggles and achievements of LGBTQ2+ Canadians, we gain insights into the ongoing fight for equality. We develop a deeper appreciation for the rights and freedoms we often take for granted. This historical journey will shed light on the systemic discrimination, legal battles, and societal prejudices that the LGBTQ2+ community has faced. But it's not just about looking back. It's also about looking forward. By understanding the past, we can better address the challenges that lie ahead. We can continue to build a more inclusive and just society for all Canadians, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. This exploration of LGBTQ2+ history is an invitation to listen, to learn, and to become more informed and engaged citizens. Canada's journey towards LGBTQ2+ rights has been remarkable. It stands as a beacon of hope for LGBTQ2+ communities worldwide. From the decriminalization of homosexuality to the legalization of same-sex marriage, Canada has consistently been at the forefront of progressive legislation and social change. We will examine the factors that contributed to Canada's early adoption of LGBTQ2+ rights, including the tireless work of activists, the role of the courts, and the evolving social and political landscape. This journey is far from over. There are still challenges to overcome, and progress requires constant vigilance. By understanding how far Canada has come, we can draw inspiration and continue to advocate for full equality for all LGBTQ2+ individuals. Let us now delve into the early history of LGBTQ2+ rights in Canada, a time marked by silence, stigma, and the beginnings of a movement. As we journey back to the early 20th century in Canada, we find a vastly different social landscape for LGBTQ2+ individuals. Homosexuality was criminalized under the law, categorized as gross indecency, and punishable by imprisonment. This legal framework cast a long shadow of fear and secrecy over the lives of LGBTQ2+ Canadians. They lived in a society where their identities were deemed illegal, their relationships unrecognized, and their voices silenced. Discrimination was widespread, both socially and institutionally. LGBTQ2+ Canadians faced significant barriers in employment, housing, and healthcare. Fear of persecution forced many to live double lives, hiding their true identities from family, friends, and colleagues. This era was marked by silence, stigma, and a constant fear of exposure. However, even amidst these challenging circumstances, the spirit of resilience and the yearning for equality began to emerge. Public discourse on sexuality was taboo, and any deviation from the heteronormative standard was met with hostility and condemnation. LGBTQ2+ individuals were often portrayed as deviant, immoral, or mentally ill. This pervasive negativity created a climate of fear and isolation, making it difficult for LGBTQ2+ individuals to form communities or support networks. The lack of visibility and representation further compounded their struggles, leaving them feeling invisible and unheard. Despite the oppressive environment, LGBTQ2+ Canadians found subtle ways to connect with one another. Secret social gatherings, often held in private homes or discreet establishments, provided a space for individuals to meet, socialize, and find solace in shared experiences. These clandestine gatherings, though limited in scope and fraught with risk, served as vital lifelines for a community yearning for connection and acceptance. They were the early seeds of community formation, laying the groundwork for the more visible and organized movements that would emerge in the later decades. As the decades progressed, faint glimmers of change began to appear. In the 1950s and 1960s, a new generation started to challenge the status quo.
Inspired by civil rights and women's movements, LGBTQ2+ Canadians began to find their voices. They organized discreetly, forming small groups to advocate for their rights.
The Body Politic, a gay liberation newspaper, was founded in Toronto in 1971. It provided a platform for LGBTQ2+ voices, sharing stories and calls for action. It became a vital tool for raising awareness and building community.
Despite resistance, these publications marked a shift from silence to advocacy. Organizations like the Association for Homophile Rights in Canada emerged.
They focused on legal reform, public education, and support services. They advocated for decriminalization and legal protections against discrimination.
These early organizations, often on limited budgets, laid the groundwork for significant changes.
These early activists faced immense challenges. They were often met with hostility and violence. Their efforts were frequently dismissed or ridiculed, yet they persisted, driven by a belief in equality.
Their courage helped to chip away at the wall of silence and stigma. Their efforts paved the way for the more visible LGBTQ2+ rights movements.
The Cold War had a profound impact on the LGBTQ2+ community in Canada. Increased surveillance and persecution targeted LGBTQ2+ individuals as security risks. Discriminatory policies led to the purging of LGBTQ2+ individuals from civil service and the military. Ironically, the Cold War also advanced LGBTQ2+ rights, emphasizing individual freedoms. Immigrants brought diverse perspectives, slowly shifting societal attitudes. The Cold War's complex impact shaped both challenges and opportunities for LGBTQ2+ Canadians. The year 1969 marked a pivotal moment in the history of LGBTQ2+ rights in Canada. It was the year that homosexuality was finally decriminalized. Spearheaded by then Justice Minister Pierre Trudeau, this landmark decision removed the archaic gross indecency law. The decriminalization of homosexuality was a major victory, a testament to the tireless efforts of activists and organizations. It signaled a shift in societal attitudes, recognizing consensual sexual activity between adults. It served as a beacon of hope, a symbol of progress, and a catalyst for further change. Following the decriminalization of homosexuality, the fight for LGBTQ2+ rights in Canada shifted towards achieving legal protections against discrimination. Activists challenged discriminatory practices in employment, housing, and services. In 1977, Quebec added sexual orientation as a prohibited ground of discrimination. This set a precedent, leading to amendments in human rights codes across Canada. Legal protections promoted equality and challenged discrimination. The enactment of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms in 1982 marked a watershed moment in the history of LGBTQ2+ rights in Canada. The Charter, enshrined in the Canadian Constitution, guarantees fundamental rights and freedoms to all Canadians, including the right to equality without discrimination based on sexual orientation. This constitutional protection provided a powerful legal tool for LGBTQ2+ individuals and organizations to challenge discriminatory laws and policies. The Charter's equality provisions became a cornerstone for advancing LGBTQ2+ rights in Canada. Courts, interpreting the Charter's guarantee of equality, began to strike down discriminatory laws and policies that infringed upon the rights of LGBTQ2+ Canadians. Landmark cases, such as Egan v. Canada in 1995, which recognized same-sex couples as having the same rights and obligations as common-law heterosexual couples, demonstrated the transformative potential of the Charter in advancing LGBTQ2+ equality. The Charter also empowered LGBTQ2+ individuals and organizations to challenge discriminatory practices in various spheres of life. Courts, recognizing the broad scope of the Charter's equality provisions, extended its protection to LGBTQ2+ individuals in areas such as employment, housing, healthcare, and education. The Charter became a catalyst for social change, prompting governments and institutions to review and revise discriminatory policies and practices. The Charter of Rights and Freedoms ushered in a new era of equality for LGBTQ2+ Canadians. It provided a powerful legal framework for challenging discrimination, promoting equality, and recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of all individuals, regardless of their sexual orientation. The Charter's impact on LGBTQ2+ rights in Canada has been profound, shaping the legal landscape, influencing social attitudes, and paving the way for a more inclusive and just society. The fight for same-sex marriage in Canada was a long and arduous one, marked by legal challenges, public debates, and a growing movement for equality. LGBTQ2+ organizations, activists, and allies worked tirelessly to challenge the traditional definition of marriage, arguing that excluding same-sex couples from this fundamental right violated their equality rights under the Charter.
The legal battle for same-sex marriage culminated in 2005 when Canada became the fourth country in the world to legalize same-sex marriage nationwide. The Civil Marriage Act, passed by the Canadian Parliament, redefined marriage as the lawful union of two persons to the exclusion of all others, granting same-sex couples the same rights and recognition as opposite-sex couples. The legalization of same-sex marriage was a historic moment for LGBTQ2+ rights in Canada. It was a testament to the tireless advocacy of countless individuals and organizations, the evolving social and political landscape, and the power of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms in advancing equality. This landmark decision sent a powerful message of inclusion, acceptance, and recognition to LGBTQ2+ Canadians and the world.
The legalization of same-sex marriage did not end the fight for LGBTQ2+ equality in Canada. Challenges remained in areas such as transgender rights, combating homophobia and transphobia, and addressing the unique needs of LGBTQ2+ youth. However, the